So I was thinking a little bit about the teachings on emptiness that we've been receiving on Thursday nights, and also from Guy Newland, and they seem to be quite accurate, I would say, as far as my mind can figure out. When I listen to them, I find difficulty finding fault in the idea that things do not exist from their own side. That when I really try to penetrate with my mind, I can't see how they could exist in another way. And the thing that amazes me, though, is that if that's really the case, then my experience is way, way off. And what I see and experience does not accord with that in any way. And of course, that's because of my delusion and my confusion about the nature of reality. But I'm constantly amazed that when I walk around and look at things, it all seems to be very real. It seems to be very, very real. You know, I touch it and everybody else touches it, and that we would all agree that we're talking about the same object, and it's just dumbfounding that somehow it doesn't exist at all like that in any way, and that things are completely different. So I spend a lot of time just kind of walking around and being amazed at how deluded I am in regards to emptiness and in regards to other things also, but specifically in regards to that. And how much of life is spent focusing on things that are like just a game or a play, that they don't really have any meaning, and I invest a lot of my time in them, and then eventually, you know, I move on and it has no real purpose or meaning, especially not at the time of death. It's all gone and wasted. But I'm amazed at how much time I can spend engrossed in these things, engrossed in the, I'd say, the habitual, it's almost even a wish that things would just give me pleasure from their own side, that it would be so much nicer if I could just go around and get what I want and then be happy. And it's just like the whole of my experience is built upon that assumption, and it's totally incorrect. So that's kind of troubling to some degree. And sometimes I feel like I just have to kind of grab myself and shake myself and say, you know, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? What are you doing? When you die, how are you going to feel about this? How are you going to feel about what you're doing right now? About the choice you're making? Just this little tiny choice. It's not that important. But if you remember it at the time of death, are you going to say, yeah, that was a good choice? Or are you going to say, wow, I wasted more of my life. I just went on following the status quo, sticking with what I'm used to doing, and because it was comfortable, or because I was too afraid to try something different or to move forward. And I can pretty much guarantee that if I'm too afraid to act responsibly now, that fear is going to be half of what I'm going to experience at the time of death when I don't act now. So, just a thought.